Cause if I got you, I don't need money, I don't need cars. Girl, you're my heart. Sing. And oh, I'm into you, and girl, no one else could do. Cause with every kiss and every hug, you make me fall in love. And I know I can't be the only one.
The desert air Coachella has a way of carrying more than just sound. It carries memories, nostalgia, and sometimes ghosts of the past. And on a night already electric with anticipation, Justin Bieber did something no one quite expected, but everyone instantly felt. As the lights dimmed and the first familiar notes of "With You" echoed across the festival grounds, the crowd braced for a throwback. What they got instead was something far more intimate, almost cinematic. Bieber, standing face-to-face with his younger self, singing a love song that suddenly felt heavier, more layered, and impossible to ignore. For a moment, time folded on itself. On the massive screen behind him appeared a digitally recreated version of Bieber from his early career, the soft-voiced teen who once made millions believe in fairy tale love. Dressed in a recreation of his signature 2010-era look, the younger version smiled shyly, microphone in hand, as if stepping straight out of a different era. And then, in a seamless blend of technology and storytelling, the two Justins began to sing together. The crowd erupted, but not just from excitement. There was something haunting about it. With You, originally released during Bieber's rise to global fame, has always been a simple, earnest declaration of young love. But in this context, under the desert sky, and with years of public scrutiny, heartbreak, and growth behind him, the song transformed. It wasn't just a performance anymore. It was a conversation between who he was and who he has become, and whether intended or not, there was another presence lingering in that moment: Selena Gomez. For longtime fans, the connection was impossible to miss. With You may not be explicitly tied to any one relationship, but the era it represents overlaps with one of the most talked about love stories in pop culture history. Bieber and Gomez's on-again, off-again relationship defined a generation of fans, fueling headlines, heartbreak, and endless speculation. Seeing Bieber revisit that version of himself, so young, so hopeful, so publicly in love, felt like reopening a chapter many believed had long been closed. What made the performance even more powerful was Bieber's demeanor. Gone was the carefree teenager bouncing across the stage. In his place stood a man who has lived through the consequences of fame, love, and loss. His voice carried a different weight now, richer, more controlled, but also tinged with something reflective, almost bittersweet. When he sang lines about devotion and forever, it didn't feel like a promise anymore. It felt like a memory. At one point, the younger version of Bieber turned toward the present-day artist on screen, smiling with a kind of innocence that contrasted sharply with the older Bieber's grounded presence. It was subtle, but it told a story, the optimism of youth meeting the reality of experience. And as their voices blended, the illusion became more than just a visual trick. It became symbolic. Fans in the crowd were visibly emotional. Some sang along with tears in their eyes, while others simply stood still, absorbing the moment. Social media lit up almost instantly, with clips of performance spreading like wildfire. Many described it as chilling, beautiful, and unexpectedly emotional. Others speculated openly about whether the performance was a quiet nod to Gomez, especially given the timing and the song choice. But perhaps the real power of the moment lies in its ambiguity. Bieber didn't introduce the performance with an explanation. He didn't dedicate it to anyone. He simply let it exist, raw, layered, and open to interpretation. And in doing so, he gave fans space to project their own memories onto it. It's worth noting how far Bieber has come to reach a moment like this. From teenage superstardom to public controversies, from deeply personal struggles to a quieter, more introspective phase of his life, his journey has been anything but linear. Standing on that stage, harmonizing with a version of himself untouched by those experiences, felt almost like closure or at least acknowledgement. And yet, it didn't feel like he was trying to go back. If anything, the performance emphasized the distance between then and now. The younger Bieber represented possibility, while the older Bieber embodied perspective. Together, they created a bridge, a reminder that growth doesn't erase the past, it reshapes it. As the song came to an end, the younger version faded slowly from the screen, leaving Bieber alone under the spotlight. For a brief second, he stood still, looking out at the crowd as if grounding himself back in the present. Then, with a quiet nod, he moved on to the next song. But the moment lingered, because what happened on that stage wasn't just a clever use of technology or a nostalgic callback. It was something more personal, more human. It was an artist confronting his own history in real time, embracing it, questioning it, and perhaps even making peace with it. And for those watching, it felt like witnessing something rare. Not just a performance, but a reflection.